Okay, what we have here is a time series graph or a line graph. So before we talk about the problem itself, let's sort of unpack exactly what this picture is telling us. So um, someone is driving from their home to a college campus and then back home. So how does that trip sort of correlate with this graph, with this visualization? So we have our vertical axis here labeled as miles from home. Right, so that's distance away from home. What that means is when the graph is at 100, you are 100 miles from home. Or vertically at 100. When the graph is at 150, that means you're 150 miles from home. So on. The horizontal axis is time, measured in hours. So what's happening here? There's the three distinct portions of the graph. It goes up, then it's flat, then it goes down. So according to this graph, going up means increasing the distance. This is distance from home. Right, so going up, because we move left to right, so time is always moving forward. So as we move left to right, when the graph is going up, you're getting farther and farther from home. So this, I'll use the pink here. This portion of the graph is driving to the campus, and then there's no. Let's switch to green. There's no vertical change here. So at this green portion, that's your car is parked in the parking lot. It's not moving. For this green portion, so this amount of time down here, you're at campus, and then right here is when you leave, you start driving home. So the graph's going down. That means the distance away, your distance away from your home is decreasing. So you're getting closer and closer to home. All right, so that's what's happening here. You're driving to campus, so you're leaving home, you're staying at campus, so you're not moving, and then you're driving back home. And eventually, when you get back to zero, that means you're 0 miles from home or you're at home. Okay, so how far did you drive? Well, here's here's campus right here. Right? This is for those hours your car wasn't moving. So the vertical scale is distance, and if we estimate from the graph, it looks between the 200 and the 225, but a little closer to 225. So I would say for part A down, or for part one down here, how far away was the other school from their home campus? Looks to be about 215 miles, according to the graph. That's the vertical distance. So this down here, this is home. You haven't left yet, you haven't moved any distance. Then you're driving, and then you get there. Okay, so it looks like we went from 0 up to about 215. Now, part 2, let's see, part 2, find the average speed. Okay, so for that, we could go back to the problem. Recall that the average speed is calculated using the formula speed equals distance over time. All right, so when you think about a moving vehicle, describing how fast it's going, at least in the US, since we don't use the metric system, unfortunately, we measure the speed of a car in miles per hour. Okay, so the average speed is distance over time, or miles per hour. Uh, how many hours were spent driving? Hmm. All right, now let's think about this. How many hours were spent driving? I'm going to actually get rid of all of this and clear it up. Okay, so how many hours were spent driving? You're driving to campus here, and then you're at campus. So it looks like if we go down here, it looks like it took you 4 hours to get to campus. Then you're at campus. This looks like right about the 12 there. So it looks like it's a 3 hour trip home from 12 up to 17. Or sorry, 4.5 hours. So 4 hours there, 4.5 hours home. So it looks like the total time in the car, 4 hours to get there, 4.5 hours to get back. Looks like the total time is 8.5 hours. So we need distance over time. So from part A, we have distance. Well, that's one leg of the trip. So it's 215 miles to get there, 215 miles to get back. So double the 215, and we're at 430. Okay, so distance is 430. So that's 430 miles, 8.5 hours. All right, so there's your miles per hour. 430 divided by 8.5. I think the direction said rounded 2 decimal places. So we need to take that 430, divide by 8.5. We can just pop that right into the calculator. I could use this guy here. Okay, 430 divide by 8.5. So rounded to 2 decimal places, it looks like the average speed was about 50.59. So the 588, that'll round to 59. 50.59. Okay, that's about it for this one. Hope it was helpful.